I'm Jeff Pepper. I'm the founder and president of Touchtown in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've run the company here for about 10 years. I've been a technology developer and entrepreneur as long as I can remember. My dad was in his late 70s, and he had moved into a retirement home here in Pittsburgh. He moved from New York to Pittsburgh. And so as I was engaged in my very intense life running a technology company during the dot-com boom, my dad was in a retirement home, cut off from his family, cut off from his friends, cut off from his lifelong interests. And his health went down pretty rapidly. And I was wondering, maybe there's some connection between the social isolation he was going through and the decline of his overall health and well-being. So I resigned as CEO of my previous company, and I started Touchtown with the mission of applying advanced technology to bring older people back into touch with the activities, people, situations that they really care about. Basically, try to reconnect people, and we've been doing that for 10 years. Social isolation, as I said before, social isolation is probably the biggest unsolved problem in senior living. Let me give you some background here. There's over 4 million people in the U.S. who live in some sort of senior housing, whether it's independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing, whatever. Their medical needs are very well taken care of. Their basic, food, shelter needs are being well taken care of. The big challenge is creating meaningful activity, meaningful work for people when they're retired, especially an issue for men, because men very often define their self-worth through their work. And a lot of people have told me that in retirement homes, the men are the ones who lose their faculties the quickest because they're sort of decoupled from the thing that drives them. So some of the newer retirement homes now are actually co-located with universities, so that if you move into this community, you can audit classes and you can tutor kids, and that sort of stuff is really what gives life meaning. What we do here at Touchtown is just to facilitate that process. We're a little bit of 3-in-1 oil in the process to make sure that if the meaningful activity is out there, people will hear about it and get involved. The initial idea behind Touchtown was to create a shared virtual world where older people and their families could meet online and interact directly, sort of like Second Life, but this was before any of that stuff existed. So we built a shared virtual world, we had people use it, and technically it worked, but commercially it was not successful. So we eventually moved away from that and moved towards more practical applications that actually serve the needs of the people that operate the retirement homes, as well as improve the quality of life for the people that live there. So our first product that was commercially successful was an email client. So we built the first email program that was easy for people to use, even if they had dementia, low vision, any impairments like that. From there we moved to developing in-house television technology. This would allow a retirement home to create its own TV channel, even if they have no studio and no experience with video editing or anything like that. So we automated all the design work, automated all the hard stuff, and gave it to them as a package. From there we moved to digital signage applications, to calendar, to web portals, that sort of thing. So at this point, we have a suite of several products that all work together to bring together the people in a retirement home. And I'm happy to say that as of today, we have 150,000 people who use our products. We are embarking on a pretty major project right here, right now. We're branching out from the lifestyle communication products that we've been building for since the beginning into safety communication products. Safety communication consists of helping a resident call for help when they need it, but also the converse of that, helping the staff get in touch with the resident community when there's something going on, a weather emergency or whatnot. So we've looked at the approaches to that, and we've felt that there's a lot more that could be done that isn't being done. So being a bunch of innovative technology people, we saw that as an opportunity rather than a problem, and so we're working now on a whole new generation of products that will make it easier for people to ask for help when they need it, but also easier for them to hear about something if they need to know about it. I think that the mission that resonated with me was improving quality of life. Now, where I got the idea to build a virtual world for seniors, I have no idea. And if I could go back in time and talk myself out of it, I probably would, because it was a bad idea. So I think that, the mission really hasn't changed here at Touchtown in 10 years. It's always been improving quality of life for seniors. What changes is the tactics, And I think, if anybody is watching this video, and there's something they want to accomplish, whether it's, you want to, alleviate global warming, or you want to, reduce infant mortality, or help kids in school, whatever it is, get the mission nailed down tight, but be really open as far as the tactics and the implementation, because chances are the idea that you have for achieving that mission is probably either a little or a lot off base, and it's not till you start talking to the actual customer that you find out what the right tactics are to achieve the mission. The biggest thing that I would tell somebody if they wanted to stop whatever they're doing and start a mission-driven company is treat it like a real company. I fell into this trap myself, and I've seen other people fall into it, where somehow you feel that just because you're doing good, somehow it'll make the company profitable and you'll be able to pay your bills. And it turns out that economics doesn't care. It doesn't care whether you're doing well or not. All it cares about is, do you have customers and do they pay for the products? I had sort of a hubris, kind of a feeling that because we were doing something worthwhile, everything would magically come together. So in retrospect, what I should have done is spend a year or two going out and asking questions, finding out what the economics are in the particular industry that we wanted to get into. What are the unsolved problems? How can we come up with something that can actually help people run their businesses so they'll be willing to buy from us? And if I had spent even 6 months exploring that, I would have preserved a lot of the startup capital that I had, and I could have done a much better job of ramping up once we actually had a good product. Ethics in business is always a really big topic, and sometimes when I interview people for jobs, I'll ask them about ethical conflicts, and they'll tell me about some situation where they made a questionable decision about something. And my experience, having run companies now for 18 years, is that there is never an irreconcilable conflict between doing the ethically right thing and doing the business right thing. And if you think there's a conflict between those two things, you're not looking at the problem the right way. Okay? I don't think I've ever made a decision in 18 years where I compromise my principles in order to make a buck, save a buck, do something like that. And we've had some really rough times. I mean, we've had layoffs, we've lost deals, we've had issues with products, and occasionally there are temptations. You can tell a customer a story that's not quite true, or you can kind of there's a million things you can do. And I guess my experience has been you never have to do those things. And if you just step back and look at the problem the right way, you can always find a solution that does not involve sacrificing your principles.